Psalm 84, the joy of dwelling in God's presence. Psalm 84 is a poetic and heartfelt meditation on the deep longing of the human soul to be near God. Written by the sons of Korah, temple musicians, and worship leaders in ancient Israel, this psalm reflects the intense desire to dwell in the presence of the Lord, to worship Him, and to experience the blessings that flow from being near His sanctuary. It is both a celebration of God's house and a reflection on the journey of faith, marked by trust, strength, and the assurance of divine favor. The psalm opens with an outburst of admiration for the tabernacle of the Lord, calling it lovely and desirable. The psalmist's longing is not merely poetic, it is visceral. His soul faints, his heart and flesh cry out, not for the structure itself, but for the living God who dwells within. This expresses a profound spiritual hunger, one that cannot be satisfied by rituals or tradition alone, but only by a genuine encounter with God. The reference to the tabernacle or temple courts highlights the central place of worship in the life of the believer, serving as the meeting point between heaven and earth. In a tender image, the psalmist notes that even the sparrow and the swallow find a home near God's altars, nesting in the place where sacrifices are offered. This observation conveys a sense of peaceful security and belonging. If such small creatures can dwell near God's presence, how much more should God's people desire to be close to Him? Those who reside in His house are declared blessed because they are continually engaged in praise. Their lives are marked by a constant awareness of God's nearness and goodness, which results in ongoing worship. The psalm then turns its attention to those on a spiritual journey, pilgrims making their way to Zion, the holy city. These travelers are described as being blessed when they derive their strength from God and have hearts set on pilgrimage. Even when they pass through dry and weary places, like the valley of Baca, they find renewal and refreshment, as if the barren landscape itself is transformed into a place of springs and blessing. This powerful imagery illustrates the life of faith. While the path may be difficult, God's presence transforms hardship into hope. The journey is not one of diminishing energy, but one of increasing strength. Each step brings the worshipper closer to God until they appear before Him in Zion, a metaphor for the culmination of spiritual pursuit. Following this reflection on the pilgrimage, the psalm becomes a personal prayer. The psalmist appeals to the Lord of hosts to hear his plea and to look favorably upon your anointed, likely referring to the king or God's chosen servant. This intercession acknowledges dependence on God's protection and grace. The prayer serves as a bridge between the longing for God's house and the affirmation of the goodness that comes from trusting Him. The final verses express the overwhelming joy found in God's presence. The psalmist proclaims that a single day in the courts of the Lord is better than 1,000 elsewhere. He would rather be a doorkeeper, a lowly servant, at the temple than live in comfort among the wicked. This sharp contrast reveals the value he places on proximity to God over any worldly status or luxury. God is described as a sun and shield, signifying His role as both the giver of life and the protector of His people. He gives grace and glory and withholds no good thing from those who live with integrity. The psalm closes with a powerful truth: those who trust in the Lord are truly blessed. Psalm 84 is a song of yearning, a testimony of faith, and a declaration of the surpassing worth of God's presence. It invites readers to see life as a spiritual journey marked by longing, perseverance, worship, and trust. In its verses, one finds encouragement for the pilgrim soul. Though the path may be hard, God is both the destination and the source of strength along the way. To dwell with Him, even in the humblest capacity, is the greatest joy and blessing a person can know.
Psalm 84. To the chief musician, on an instrument of Gath, a psalm of the sons of Korah. How lovely is your tabernacle, O Lord of hosts! My soul longs, yes, even faints for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out for the living God. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her young, even your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They will still be praising you. Selah. Blessed is the man whose strength is in you, whose heart is set on pilgrimage. As they pass through the valley of Baca, they make it a spring. The rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength. Each one appears before God in Zion. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O God of Jacob. Selah. O God, behold our shield, and look upon the face of your anointed. For a day in your courts is better than 1,000. I would rather be a doorkeeper in the house of my God than dwell in the tents of wickedness. For the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from those who walk uprightly. O Lord of hosts, blessed is the man who trusts in you.